Thanks for downloading the Forest Ramble podcast. If you like what you hear, then please leave a review on iTunes or send us your feedback on Facebook, Twitter or Instagram.
Hello and welcome to a Forest Ramble podcast extra. It's been a bit of a turbulent time at the end of this year, what with Mark Warburton suddenly departing the club with his management team. So we were going to do the 2017 calendar year awards and we thought we'd do it as an extra instead. So once again I'm joined by Stephen Topless and the Married on the Midlands. And there's a few awards that we want to get through. So we've had 3 managers to select from in 2017, Philippe Montagnier, Gary Brazil and Mark Warburton. We want to think about the Player of the Year, the Young Player of the Year and the most important moment of the year. Before we go any further, here are the thoughts of our correspondent Baz.
So they want me to think about the Player of the Year, the Manager of the Year, the Young Player of the Year and the Moment of the Year. Well, we can start with the last one. That's the easiest, which is when Fawaz went. I think that's going to be a huge moment for our club. In terms of Manager of the Year, I'd have to say Warburton, but only because I quite like tippy-tappy possession football, but you can see how that's ended up. Player of the Year, now that's an interesting one. I was thinking about this the other day. I think it's quite telling that my choice will be Eric Lehigh, who's never been a player I particularly like. He's just the best of a bad bunch. And as for Young Player of the Year, well, none of them stood out for me.
Let's come back to the discussion that we've got here. So, let's start off with the most important moment of the year. We heard what Baz thinks. He thinks it's got to be the departure of Fawaz Al-Hassawi from Nottingham Forest. Stephen, what's your most important moment for Nottingham Forest in 2017?
It's the same moment for me. Mm-hmm. The end of 5 years of mediocrity and, quite frankly, poor management of the club and poor running of the club, and the beginning of a bright new dawn. Certainly that's what it felt like when Marinakis and his takeover went through. So, and
obviously time will tell whether that...
Time will tell, yeah, but given the poor years that we had under Fawaz, it was just a relief to finally see him gone for good.
Okay, Married on the Midlands, what was your moment of the year?
For me, I suppose it was Chris Cohen scoring that goal against Ipswich on the last day of the season.
So Stephen's gone with the rational, you've gone with the emotional.
I don't know what I did. But it was a magic moment.
Brought a tear to your eye, I bet.
It did.
I was going to think of something from the same match, actually. I was going to go for Jordan Smith's save in that match, because I think that was... You can't narrow the success of a single season down to one moment, but if you could, that would probably be the moment.
Good choice.
Okay, alright, let's move on to the Forest Manager of the Year, okay? We had 3 to choose from. Let's just remind ourselves, so we started the year with Philippe Montagnier. He was already looking like a bit of a lost soul by the time the year started, and things didn't get any better for him. Then we had Gaz Braz, who took over as the caretaker with Jack Lester supporting him, before Mark Warburton was brought in with his team. Married on the Midlands, your Manager of the Year?
I suppose it's got to be Mark Warburton.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, Stephen.
It doesn't matter anymore. Warburton came in, kept us up.
Yep.
Started to.
Do you think
develop?
I would go for Warburton as well. Do you think there's anything to be said for the fact that with Warburton we had a manager who had some kind of strategy and philosophy? Because, alright, it gone off the rails in the last month, but there were lots of times when that idea of wanting to get things going, wanting to play passing football, possession football, was very attractive.
Yeah, let's just say he started to turn the oil tanker around. Let's just say that. He did that, and he started the process of rebuilding the club, and most importantly saved us, because I think when he came in, it was looking pretty bleak under Gary Brazil. There's a very, very good chance that we were going to go down. So you have to give him credit, he kept us up, made some good signings in the summer.
Okay, so let's just move on from there. So let's add in another category. So best signing of 2017. I'm gonna go for Barry Mackay. I just think in terms of the impact he had at the start of the season, and in terms of the raw potential he still has as a 21-year-old, 22-year-old, however old he is, to really have a strong impact on the Championship?
For me,
terribly unprofessional broadcasting from Stephen Topless there, by the way.
I guess in terms of...
Was that your agent calling to offer you the job?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got an interview this week, so watch this space.
For me, I don't know. It's hard.
I mean, I think... Any thoughts there, Stephen?
Yeah, Barry Mackay, if you're looking at it as a player who's come in and made an impact, he's the only one you can really think of. Maybe Daryl Murphy would be a close second, because he's come in and he's been
the thing I like about Mackay is he's the kind of player who can get fans out of their seats as well. So he's got pace, he's got skill, he can cross, he's got an amazing eye for a reverse pass, and those are kinds of things that we haven't really seen since Andy Reid and Radi Majewski were at the club playing at their peak.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that's quite symbolically important as well.
Yeah, and if you look at the players who've come into the team and made an impact this year, the ones who stand out, the two that we've mentioned, but the other two are academy prospects. Mm-hmm. Joe Worrell, Ben Brereton, players that we haven't signed.
So let's move on to Young Player of the Year. So any thoughts on that, Stephen?
I would give it to Joe Worrell.
Okay.
I think he's had he come in at a difficult time. Club was struggling on the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Results weren't going well, and he came in, performed well. Mm-hmm. He's tried to lead. Obviously, captained England to World Cup success in the summer.
Captained Forest as a teenager, which is
no mean feat as well.
Yeah.
So if you're looking at it on his 2017 as a whole, include the England thing as well, I think it would be Joe Worrell, and he's continued to be part of the first team in this first half of the new season as well.
Okay, Mad on the Midlands.
I would also give it to Joe Worrell.
Okay. Anything you'd like to add to Stephen's reasons?
Nope.
Okay. I think it is a tough one, because I think, I agree with everything you said about Worrell, and he's had a fantastic year. I'm tempted by Ben Brereton, because I just think that in terms of his potential and the ability he has to be a goal scorer at Championship level, maybe even a different level, I think he just looks really, really exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing him getting a more consistent run of games at centre forward, and hopefully, if Forest is successful, we can have a team which is built around a spine of Worrell, Osborne and Brereton. So I'd go for Brereton as my wild card there. Okay, so let's just take that on to the final award for 2017. So, Stephen, who has been your Nottingham Forest Player of the Year?
I mean, you could name a couple really. I don't think anybody has stood out majorly as the Player of the Year.
So we heard that Bowes went for Eric Lehigh, but saying that's because of a paucity of options.
Yeah, you can even put David Vaughan in there, because there's been times where Vaughan has been excellent and has been the standout player, but he's been, like many, a victim of inconsistency. Mm-hmm. I think Lehigh's been that as well. I don't think Lehigh, to be honest, has been at his best this year. You could put Osborne in there for his consistency and what he gives you. Whenever he's played, I don't think he's let us down. So for me, it would be between Vaughan and Osborne.
Okay, Marrow in the Midlands.
I think Ben Osborne. He's not always spectacular, but he's probably been the most consistent player, and just that he just gives you that base level performance which you can build the rest of the team on and performances on. So.
Yeah, I would go for Ben Osborne, and I'd go for a number of reasons. One, which is of his downfall, which is he's done it in a lot of different positions. I'm not going to include left back in there, but he's played all across the middle of the park, attacking, defensive, wing play. But the thing that I've possibly mentioned this in previous podcasts, the thing that I will always have a lot of time for Osborne is because he never shies away from receiving the ball. And as a midfielder, he gets a lot of stick, but he's always got the courage to receive the ball. So for me, Benny Osborne, you being the player of 2017. Okay, So thank you very much to our contributors over the last year or so. So Stephen Topless, the Married on the Midlands, Jeremy Davis and Baz. My name is Rich Ferraro. That was Rich Ferraro's 2017 podcast, and we look forward to seeing better things in 2018. Happy New Year.